two questions. One is, I'm curious, did you have the students all day? Because it seems like a high school. So you, kind of, that's one, and two, how did you fit 200 students in it? And actually, wait, how did you get them to believe it's real? I mean, I know there was no internet, but there was news. I don't see, how did you make this reality? I can't really quite get that.
Well, I was actually teaching 3 classes, and I only did the experiment totally in one. So, but it might have spilled into the other 2 sophomore classes. Did that explain that?
No, well, she's saying if you only had them for one class a day, was this so compelling that they believed it? Because
Oh, well, you start things like, okay, one of the rules, we would create rules in the class. One of the rules was you can't gather in groups of more than 4 or 5. Or a rule might be, if you see a fellow classmate, you salute them in the hallway. It's a very quick salute, but you salute them. It's a recognition. It's a member of the way. So that therefore it kind of spreads through the school. What's going on? I mean, there's a sensitivity that something's happening, and it builds.
And I think, because I had to study this a lot to try and understand it, to communicate to the actor that was playing his part, I had to understand a lot of things, how America was working at the time. I think that experiment, as a fact, could happen in history whenever, you know, it might happen again, hopefully not. But that experiment, I think it could only happen at that very time in Palo Alto, you know, with the circumstances, you know. And one of the circumstances I think is going to answer what you question is that there were so many movements. So nowadays, maybe, and especially at that time in America, was the Ku Klux Klan, the Nazi party, the communists. There were so many parties going on. So someone, I'm presenting to the children, say we're gonna create the Black Panthers. There was all those. So someone that says we're gonna create a movement, it was much more truthful. For in one side, they're much more truthful because there's a lot going on and saying, okay, we're gonna create a new movement. So that could happen at that moment. Now it's like in America you have like 2 parties, 2 sides, and there are not 1,000 different things happening. And the other thing is exactly what you said. There was no internet to check, you know. So and the students at that time were 15, 16 years old. Nowadays they are much more grown up because they have the information just in the computer at that very moment. At that time, okay.
I don't know.
and at that moment, they couldn't not check. And I think at those times, children with 15 and 16, they were much more innocent. I think they were much protected because they only had the information that was given. Nowadays, you can check and compare with information all around the world. At that time, if he was telling them something, that was the thing that worked. It's like when you have one opinion, and they trusted him so much. He was an exceptional teacher, someone with that, you know, with so much charm, and he could everybody liked him. When you read about it, and we told his students, everybody trusted him, everybody liked it. What was he doing? So it's very easy for someone to take wherever they want to take you to, no? Like Hitler did.
yeah, you up right here.
Yeah, but that's important because
That's important.
the physical thing.
Yeah.
You manipulate people first with the physical. The manipulation goes to the physical manipulation first.